617 Squadron, which carried out the bouncing bomb raids to destroy dams in Nazi Germany during the Second World War. He spoke to the RAF 2 years ago on the 70th anniversary of the raids.
I served in the RNZAF and was attached to the RAF for the duration of my time with 97 Squadron and 617 Squadron, and subsequently with 1690 Bomber Defence Training Flight. One of the strengths of 617 Squadron was its cosmopolitan nature of the makeup of the aircrew. We had the bulk, of course, was English servicemen, but there was a considerable percentage of Canadians, of Australians. There was admittedly not very many New Zealanders, but I thought the Commonwealth nature of the build of the makeup of the squadron was one of its strengths.
We're joined from our central London studio by military historian Max Arthur, and I understand that you met Les Munro, who was always very modest about his achievements, in fact even a bit embarrassed about them.
Indeed so. It was an awkward situation for him because he was the second one off for the raid, but unfortunately he was hit when he went through Holland, and his communications broke down. Well, it was vital they had those communications when they were over the dam, so you had the bomb aimer in the front and the navigator and the pilot all working with very clever devices. But of course, if there's no communication, they can't work the devices, therefore they couldn't drop the bomb, so he had no alternative but to come back. His great sadness was that when he met Gibson shortly after the raid and explained what had happened, Gibson just said, too high, too high. And it's really rather haunted him all his life, really, because he was coming off the 30 feet off the sea, but of course had to rise when he got to the coast, and that's when he got hit. So it was a bit unjust what Gibson was saying, really.
Because it was an incredibly difficult, dangerous mission. I mean, just describe what Les Munro and the other pilots were trying to achieve.
Well, basically, it was the destruction of the industry within the Ruhr Dam, and the best way to do that was because obviously they needed the water for the factories and things, but they didn't want an avalanche of water, which the bombing of the Moen Dam and the Ada Dam did. Once they were destroyed, the water just rushed through. Unfortunately, they didn't get the third dam, which Les would have gone to. They only had one aircraft in the end, which dropped a bomb, and the last survivor of the Dambusters is alive, and it was actually the bomb aimer on that particular one. So had they managed to get that third dam, that would have made an even greater impact. But the thing about the raid was, there wasn't much going on in the war for the British citizen to sort of grip onto something and say, gosh, when will this damn thing ever be over? 4 years of war they've been at. And then suddenly this great moment where these young men went in and bombed these dams, and the next day the pages were full of it, big pictures of this dam bleeding water and great explosions up in the air, really raised morale enormously in this country. It was a devastating psychological blow on the Germans, but we really picked our spirits up from that moment. It was only a year before D-Day too, but it was a critical moment, it really was.
So that's why it meant so much to so many people here in Britain. And Mr. Munro visited the Bomber Command Memorial in Green Park in London a few years ago, and he said it was a travesty that there hadn't been a memorial earlier. He was even offering to sell his war medals in order to fund that memorial.
Indeed so. I mean, when you think there were 55,500 bomber crew killed in the Second World War, and yet if you speak about people in the Battle of Britain, great fighter pilots as there were, it was 550 killed, less than 10%. So, you know, they felt very angry about their position, Bomber Command, and it was an ignominious position to be in. They didn't deserve it. They did remarkable. If it not been for Bomber Command, I don't think we'd have won the Second World War. I mean, they devastated areas. So much so that when in 1944, the end of 1944, when the Germans did make their advance in the Ardennes, they were not being supplied from the factories, because the factories, quite frankly, had been blown up by Bomber Command. No, we owe them a great debt, and how sad they had to sell it, or was prepared to sell his medals for his friends, so that they will be remembered in perpetuity.
Well, Les Munro may be gone but not forgotten. Max Arthur, thank you so much for talking to us. It's been really great to talk to you.